Once upon a time, in a small town on the edge of London, a quiet boy with messy blonde hair kicked a football every single day. Not because someone told him to, but because he couldn't imagine doing anything else. His name was David Beckham. And this is not just a story about football. It's about failure, redemption, and becoming more than just a player, but a global icon. But before we begin, here's why you'll want to stay until the very end of this video. Here's what's coming. The brutal moment Beckham was hated by an entire country, and how he won them back. The perfect free kick that sent England to the World Cup in the final seconds. The truth behind his love story with Spice Girl Victoria, and how the tabloids nearly destroyed it. How he became the most stylish athlete of all time, and what he sacrificed for it. And real British English phrases pulled straight from Beckham's life. Like, fall from grace, tabloid frenzy, turn the tide, carry the weight of a nation. Oh, and one mind-blowing fact, Beckham had a clause in his Real Madrid contract that let him keep wearing Adidas, even though the team was sponsored by Nike. Who else had that kind of power? This isn't just English learning. It's learning with emotion, with rhythm, with story. So if you're ready to learn English, not from a grammar book, but from real life, from one of football's most iconic journeys, then take a breath, because we're about to step into the world of David Beckham and grow together in language and in life.
Chapter number 1: Early Life and Family Roots. He was born on May 2nd, 1975, in a modest working-class family in Leytonstone, East London. His father, Ted Beckham, was a kitchen fitter. His mother, Sandra, was a hairdresser. They weren't rich, but they gave David something money couldn't buy: belief. From the age of 3, David had a ball at his feet. By 5, he was already dreaming of one thing: to play for Manchester United. That wasn't just a dream, it was an obsession. He would go outside in the cold, in the rain, practicing free kicks again and again. He set up garbage bins, car tires, anything he could bend the ball around. His goal? Bend it like Beckham, before the world even knew what that meant. His parents were huge Manchester United fans, especially his dad. Together, they'd drive hours to Old Trafford just to watch games, even when money was tight. But talent? That was never tight. At just 11 years old, David won the Bobby Charlton Soccer School National Award. Scouts took notice fast. By 14, he was already training with Tottenham Hotspur's youth squad. But David didn't just want to train. He wanted to wear the red. Man United red. And then, it happened. He was accepted into the Manchester United youth training scheme. At 16, he left home, moved into a shared house, cooked for himself, washed his own kit, and lived on just £29 a week. "I never cared," he later said. "I was living my dream." The class of '92. This wasn't just any group of young players. David Beckham came up with future legends: Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes, Gary Neville, Nicky Butt. They were hungry, they were tight, and they were about to shock the world. In 1992, Beckham helped the team win the FA Youth Cup. But it wasn't just his passing, or his goals. It was how he carried himself. Quiet, respectful. But with that quiet came something else. Fire. He trained harder. He ran more. And he bent the ball. Again and again. until it did what he wanted. Early breakthrough. On April 2nd, 1995, at just 19 years old, Beckham made his Premier League debut for Manchester United. And from there, everything changed. The fans loved his style, the managers loved his work rate, and kids everywhere started copying his free kicks and his hair. Key English phrases from chapter number 1. Working class family. A family with modest income and manual jobs. Beckham came from a working class family in East London. Money was tight. There wasn't much money to spend. Even when money was tight, they still went to matches. Bend it like Beckham. To curve a football in the air, now a popular phrase. He practiced until he could bend it like Beckham. Quiet fire. Someone calm on the outside, but driven within. He had a quiet fire that pushed him forward. Living my dream, doing what you always dreamed of. I didn't care about money, I was living my dream. Chapter number 2, The Red Card, National Hate and Redemption begins. It was 1998, the FIFA World Cup, in France. David Beckham was just 23 years old, fast, stylish, rising. And yet, he was about to experience the darkest moment of his entire career. England versus Argentina, a match that changed everything. It was the round of 16. Tension was thick. Beckham had been benched in the early games by England manager Glenn Hoddle. But now, he was starting, ready to prove himself. The match? Furious, fast, emotional. Then, the moment. Argentina's Diego Simeone shoved Beckham to the ground. Beckham, lying on the grass, flicked his foot up in frustration. Not hard, just enough. Simeone went down. The referee turned. A red card. Beckham was sent off. England went on to lose the match, in penalties. The aftermath, England turned on him. What followed was not just criticism. It was hatred. Tabloid newspapers labeled him 10 heroic lions and 1 stupid boy. Fans burned effigies. He received death threats. People shouted insults at him in the street. Even his family wasn't safe. All of England blamed him for the team's exit. He wasn't just a footballer anymore. He was the enemy. And remember, he was just 23. It broke me, Beckham later said. Mental strength and support. But something strange happened. Instead of quitting, hiding, or spiraling, Beckham went quiet and got stronger. He focused on football. Sir Alex Ferguson, his manager at Manchester United, stood by him. Victoria Adams, yes, Posh Spice, stayed by his side too. The media mocked them. They called it a pop star circus. But Beckham? He just kept training, kept playing, and slowly started winning people back. Turning the tide. The 1998-99 season with Manchester United was legendary. Beckham helped lead United to 3 major titles. The Premier League, the FA Cup, and the UEFA Champions League, where he delivered a brilliant corner kick in the final seconds that led to a goal. Just 1 year after being the most hated man in England, he was now a treble winner. But still, he wasn't done proving himself. The world watched again, 2001. It's now October 6, 2001. England needs to draw or win against Greece to qualify for the 2002 World Cup. The match? Disaster. England is losing. Then, in the last few seconds of the game, England wins a free kick. And who steps up? Beckham. He places the ball, breathes in. Over 90,000 people hold their breath. And then, boom. He curls it with perfection. Top corner. Goal. England qualifies. The crowd erupts. The stadium shakes. Beckham runs, arms wide, shouting in joy. He's no longer the villain. He's a national hero. He English phrases from chapter number 2. Benched, not selected to play in the starting team. He was benched early in the World Cup. Flicked his foot, a light movement, often in frustration. Beckham flicked his foot and was sent off. Turned on him, suddenly became angry or hostile toward him. The whole country turned on him. Tabloid frenzy, when newspapers go wild over a story. The red card caused a tabloid frenzy. Turned the tide, changed the direction or opinion. He turned the tide by leading Manchester United to victory. Hold their breath, wait anxiously. The crowd held their breath as he took the free kick. Chapter number 3. Redemption complete. Free kick glory, global brand and world leader. The free kick against Greece was more than a goal. It was a symbol. That moment in 2001 wasn't just about football. It was about resilience. About a man who was hated and chose not to disappear, but to rise. After that match, David Beckham wasn't just respected. He was revered. World Cup 2002, the comeback. Now 27 years old, Beckham was the captain of England. A leader, a husband, a father. And once again, the whole world was watching. In the group stage match against Argentina, the same team that brought him shame 4 years earlier, he stood on the penalty spot. The crowd was silent. And with one calm strike, he scored. England won. And Beckham, finally, got his redemption. It wasn't just about skill anymore. It was about character. He had faced death threats, burned effigies, brutal headlines. But he never stopped. He never gave up. He kept showing up, again and again, until the world changed its mind. The brand begins. While all this was happening on the pitch, another Beckham was being built off the pitch. He became a fashion icon, a model, a global celebrity, and one of the most marketable athletes in history. From Adidas to Pepsi to H&M, brands couldn't get enough of him. Even his hairstyles made headlines, from shaved head to mohawk to the iconic top knot. But with fame came pressure. Real Madrid, Galactico pressure. In 2003, Beckham left Manchester United and signed with Real Madrid for €37 million. He joined a team full of stars. Zidane, Ronaldo, Figo, Roberto Carlos. They called them the Galacticos, the Galactics. But Beckham wasn't just there for style. He trained harder than anyone. He learned Spanish. He connected with fans. And he played his heart out. But the press still chased him, still doubted him. And behind the scenes, his marriage to Victoria was under constant attack by rumors and tabloids. The final redemption, Real Madrid 2007. In 2007, after being dropped from the starting lineup, Beckham announced that he'd signed with LA Galaxy in the U.S. The Spanish press mocked him, said he was finished, said he was leaving too early. But guess what? He kept training. He kept fighting. And in the final game of the season, Beckham returned to the lineup, assisted a goal, and helped Madrid win La Liga. He left a champion. Again. Because that's what he always did. He showed up when it mattered most. Global icon, humanitarian, legacy. After moving to the US, Beckham wasn't just a footballer anymore. He became a bridge He brought football to America, put MLS on the global map, and helped grow the sport worldwide. He's worked as a UNICEF ambassador, supporting children's health and education. He even played a role in bringing the World Cup to Qatar. And today, he's the owner of Inter Miami, helping build the next generation of football. Still stylish, still humble, still David. Key English phrases from chapter number 3. Revered, deeply respected or admired. After the Greece goal, Beckham was revered by fans again. He never stopped, continued without giving up. Even after hate and doubt, he never stopped. Galacticos, superstars of Real Madrid. Beckham joined the famous Galacticos. Under attack, constantly criticized or targeted. His marriage was under attack by the media. Dropped from the lineup, not selected to play. He was dropped, but trained harder. Left a champion, exited with a win or success. He left Real Madrid as a champion. Showed up, took action when it mattered. No matter what, Beckham always showed up. Chapter number 4, Style Icon, Love Story, and Off-Pitch Legacy. While Beckham bent free kicks on the pitch, he was also rewriting what it meant to be a footballer, off the pitch. Let's start with the part the tabloids loved, but very few truly understood. The love story, David and Victoria. They met in 1997. She was known around the world as Posh Spice, part of the biggest girl band on earth, the Spice Girls. He was a rising football star, quiet, focused, and clean-cut. Their first date? Pizza and wine, in a car park. Not exactly Hollywood, but they clicked, fast. Victoria later said, "I knew David was the one, the moment I met him." They married in 1999. Beckham in a white tuxedo, Victoria in a crown. Yes, a crown. The tabloids lost their minds, but the two stayed solid. Through rumors, headlines, pressure, they kept choosing each other, over and over again. Together, they've raised 4 children: Brooklyn, Romeo, Cruz, and Harper. And despite living under a microscope, they've lasted more than 25 years. Style that shook the world. Beckham changed the image of athletes forever. He wore sarongs, earrings, braided hair, designer suits, and once even painted Victoria's nails on a flight. True story. He didn't care what people thought. He dressed how he wanted, spoke how he wanted, and lived on his terms. Suddenly, football was cool. Boys wanted to bend it like Beckham. Girls wanted to marry him. Magazines wanted him on the cover. From GQ to Vogue, he became a fashion icon. He wasn't just selling goals, he was selling confidence. Legacy beyond the ball. After leaving Europe for LA Galaxy, most thought Beckham was winding down. But really, he was starting something new. He helped grow the MLS, bring international eyes to U.S. football, inspire younger players to dream bigger. Off the pitch, he became a UNICEF ambassador, working to protect children's rights and health. He launched his own foundation, built academies, and funded schools. And in 2023, with the signing of Lionel Messi to Inter Miami, the team Beckham co-owns, he reminded the world, he's still building, still dreaming, still showing up. Key English phrases from chapter number 4. Lived under a microscope, constantly watched or judged. Their marriage lived under a microscope. Kept choosing each other, continued to stay committed. They kept choosing each other through everything. Style icon, someone known for unique fashion. Beckham became a global style icon. Didn't care what people thought, wasn't afraid of judgment. He wore what he wanted and didn't care what people thought. Still building, continuing to create something meaningful. Even today, Beckham is still building his legacy. Chapter number 5. Learn English from his journey. David Beckham's story isn't just inspiring. It's full of real English, the kind people actually use when they talk about life, struggle, success, and resilience. Let's explore 12 useful phrases from his journey. Each one includes a simple meaning, an easy example, and the moment it came from in Beckham's life. Working class family. A family with modest income and blue-collar jobs. He came from a working class family in East London. Money was tight. There wasn't a lot of money available. Even when money was tight, his parents took him to Manchester. Living my dream. Doing what you've always wanted to do. He said he didn't care about the money. He was living his dream. Flicked his foot. A small, sudden movement, often emotional. Beckham flicked his foot at Simeone and got a red card. Turned on him. When people suddenly become angry or against you. The whole country turned on him after that red card. Tabloid frenzy. When newspapers or media go wild over a story. The Beckham-Victoria relationship caused a tabloid frenzy. Turn the tide. To change a situation from bad to good. He turned the tide with Manchester United's treble win. Hold their breath. Waiting anxiously or in suspense. Everyone held their breath during that final free kick. Left a champion. To finish something with success. He left Real Madrid as a champion, not a failure. Under a microscope. Constantly watched or judged by the public. His marriage lived under a microscope. Didn't care what people thought. Confident and true to yourself. He wore what he wanted. He didn't care what people thought. Still building. Continuing to grow and create something meaningful. Beckham is still building his legacy with Inter Miami. Tip for practice. Choose 3 of these phrases right now. Write your own sentence for each one. Say them out loud. Then say them again tomorrow. And again next week. Because language sticks when it's wrapped in emotion. Chapter number 6. Quiz and reflection. You've just heard the incredible journey of David Beckham. From red cards to redemption. From London streets to global stages. And from pain to purpose. Now it's your turn. Let's test your memory and reflect on the lessons we've learned together. Take your time. Think about each one. And answer out loud if you can. Question 1. Where was David Beckham born? A. Manchester. B. Liverpool. C. Leytonstone. Question 2. What happened during the 1998 World Cup that changed Beckham's career? A. He scored a goal against France. B. He was injured. C. He got a red card for flicking his foot at Diego Simeone. Question 3. What phrase means? The media went wild with stories. A. Tabloid frenzy. B. Kickoff moment. C. Fan alert. Question 4. Which club did Beckham join in 2003? A. Barcelona. B. Real Madrid. C. Chelsea. Question 5. What does under a microscope mean? A. Very focused on science. B. Living far away. C. Being watched closely and judged. Question 6. What goal made Beckham a hero again in 2001? A. A penalty in the Champions League. B. A free kick that sent England to the World Cup. C. A header against Argentina. Reflect. Think about what Beckham went through. He was hated, laughed at, dismissed. But he kept showing up. He worked hard in silence. He loved his family. He believed in himself, even when millions didn't. What about you? What's your challenge right now? And what's one small way you can show up today? Just like Beckham did? Maybe it's learning English. Maybe it's chasing a dream. Or maybe it's simply not giving up. Whatever it is, you're not alone. Chapter number 7. Key phrases to remember plus motivational close. You made it to the end. But really, this is the beginning. Because English isn't just something you learn in a classroom. It's something you live, feel, and use when the world is watching, or when no one is. David Beckham's story gave us more than headlines. It gave us language with soul. Here are 10 phrases from his journey to help you speak better and think deeper. Key phrases to remember. Working class family. He came from a working class family with big dreams. Licked his foot. A small mistake. That changed everything. Turned on him. The fans turned on him after the red card. Tabloid frenzy. His relationship with Victoria sparked a tabloid frenzy. Turned the tide. He turned the tide with his unforgettable free kick. Under a microscope. His whole life was under a microscope, but he stayed true. Left a champion. He proved them wrong. And left as a champion. Style icon. He redefined what it meant to be a footballer and a style icon. Still building. Even after retirement, Beckham is still building. He never stopped. Through hate, pressure, and fame, he never stopped. Motivational close. David Beckham wasn't the biggest, wasn't the fastest. And in 1998, the world told him he was done. But he said nothing. He just trained. He just showed up. He let his actions speak. That's the secret. You don't need to shout. You don't need permission. You just need to keep showing up. Even when no one believes in you. Believe in yourself. If you're learning English and you feel stuck, remember this. You're not just learning words. You're learning how to express your fire, your pain, your power. So keep going. Say one phrase today. Say it again tomorrow. And say it like you mean it. You are building something. And just like Beckham, you are not done yet. If this story inspired you or helped you learn something new, please consider supporting my channel. See you next time. Bye.